Hi, my name is Brittany and I'm a Messy Bun teacher. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is very close to my heart and I think it's something that can help you become an effective teacher in this day and age. This video is all about my why. I can remember when I was a young girl that I wanted to be a teacher. I would line up my stuffed animals. I would be their teacher and they would be my students. My cousins, they found like this teaching manual and it was like a big textbook. I loved using that and just pretending that I was a teacher. I grew up and graduated high school. I went off to college and I got an education degree. But when I got married, I had a lot of hoops to jump through to be able to get my teaching certificate. I remember going up to the State Department of Education, I think at the third no, and respectfully, literally telling them, you are going to let go of someone that is so passionate about teaching. You need good teachers. Please do not let me go. And they found a way. God found a way. I was able to get my teaching certificate and it really jump-started my determination to be a teacher. Now that I'm a teacher, I know that it's not always rainbows and butterflies. You have days where you go home in tears. You also have days where you soak in the bathtub because you cannot walk anymore because you have been on your feet all day. Why do we keep teaching? Why are we still in education when sometimes it's an uphill battle? This morning, as I was reflecting on this video and what I was going to say, I just wrote down a list and I want to read that list because teaching is more than just standing in front of the classroom and pointing to letters. So I'm going to read this list to you. It's constant, clear communication to parents. It's a barrage of meetings. It's grading stacks and stacks of assignments. It's balancing work life with family life. It's sacrifice after sacrifice. It's spending some of your own hard-earned money on things you need for the classroom because you know your kids deserve the best. It's learning new technology. It's keeping up with new policies that change every single year. It's going home to cry on your spouse's shoulder. It's dealing with behavior issues. It's praying with your family over dinner for a student that just lost their dad in a motorcycle accident. It's bearing heavy news from the counselor about one of your students. It's continuously encouraging students that want to give up. It's planning engaging yet standards-focused lessons. It's staying professional while de-escalating an upset parent. It's classroom management. It's preparing students for the state test that not only reflects your district, but your students, your school, and yourself. And the list goes on and on. 44% of new teachers leave education within 5 years. 44%, that's almost half. That's mind-blowing. If you're a new teacher that is contemplating leaving education, or if you're nearing burnout, I see you. I've been there. This year, I transitioned into a new state, a new school, brand new school. It opened up this year. New staff, new students. I taught a new subject. In October, I was drowning. I would come home in tears. Not because I didn't love my job or my students. I honestly don't even think my team knows this. Or my admin, but I didn't think I could go on. I was exhausted. The adjustment was hard. Even though I work with some incredible people, just learning to adjust to a new team, to new people, to new admin, I was drowning. I remember coming home to my husband and just telling him, I need you to come with me and pray with me and to pray over my classroom. I don't think I can continue to go on. I was struggling. I remember Joey, my kids, and my in-laws, Ed and Sharon, they came over to my classroom. It was around 6, 7 at night, and no one was there. And I remember just sitting in one of my students' desks and just in tears. When they came in, I had hope because their prayer, I remember my father-in-law, Ed, he prayed a prayer that just confirmed in my heart because I didn't tell him what I was going through. They didn't know details. He just prayed this prayer and it just confirmed in my heart, I'm where I'm supposed to be. This is my calling. I am gonna have days where I wanna give up. I'm gonna have days where I go home and cry. But I have been called to this job. It's more than a job. It's part of my life. And I'm called, so I'm gonna get up, rely on the Lord for his strength because I am not strong enough. And I'm gonna keep going because my kids deserve the best. That doesn't mean perfection. That just means I want what's best for them. And that's me getting up with a smile on my face, but also being real with my students and telling them, hey, Miss Morse isn't having a great day today, but I'm gonna keep pushing. So when I got overwhelmed, when I got at the end of my rope, I came back to my why. The reason I got into teaching in the first place. It's a calling. I was called to be a teacher. I feel like this is the path for me. And no, it's not perfect every day. It's gonna get lonely. It's gonna get exhausting. You're gonna have discouraging days, but oh my goodness, the reward is greater than the struggle. When you see a student in that aha moment, Miss Morse, I get it, is worth it. When I have a student confide in me, something that they've never told anybody, that's why I do what I do. When I hold a student that just lost their parent, that's why I do what I do. Mother Teresa once said, that I alone can't change the world, but I can cast a stone across the water and create ripples. I feel like that's teaching. We are not going to see every day become this aha moment in our classroom. We as teachers are making more and more ripples every day that sometimes we can't see in the moment, but they are going to create a wave that will reach places we could have never imagined. I understand, like, there's some teachers that have to take a year or two off just to get their mind healthy. I get that. And there's nothing wrong with that. And some people are not meant to be teachers. That's not the career for them. And that is okay too. But if you are called to be a teacher, write down your why. Remember your why. I remember at the beginning of the year in our teacher's lounge, we had this huge poster and it said, remember your why. And I had all the teachers write down the reason they got into teaching. It was so neat to see everybody's why, but also when we go into the teacher's lounge, sometimes we want to vent and we want to just tell our coworkers the struggle of the day. And I loved putting that in our teacher's lounge because we could look at it and be like, yeah, it sucks today, but this is why I'm doing what I'm doing. Maybe put something on the fridge in the teacher's lounge. Maybe put it in the front office somewhere. Frame your why and put it on your school desk. That way your students can see it as well. I know that I need to do that. I need to write out my why. And my why is one, it is my calling. It is my path that God has made for me. And two, my students. They are the reason I get up every single morning and get to work with a smile on my face because I'm excited to see them and to learn and grow with them. Again, it's not gonna be rainbows and butterflies. Some days I'm gonna be like, you're driving me crazy. When I see them outside of school and they come and hug me and I see their smile on their face, I remember, yes, I am here for them academically. I want them to succeed so much academically, but I am here to help them to grow to be the best human being possible. I remember a student that I had in 5th grade, and she moved on to 6th grade, and she came by my classroom every single morning just to talk before school started. And she wasn't even my student anymore. But guess what? Even though you leave my classroom, you're always my student. I still think about her. I pray for her, and she just puts a smile to my face. Even though she's not my student, she's almost in high school now. That is why I do what I do. So I'm going to write out my why, frame it this year, and put it on my classroom desk. So not only I can be reminded of my why, but my students can see, I'm here for you, and I love you. And yes, sometimes I'm going to carry some heavy burdens and I'm going to be overwhelmed and I'm going to be tired, but I'm going to keep going because that's what I want you to do. You are going to have things thrown at you in this life, but I want you to keep going because you will always have Miss Morse in your corner cheering you on. I remember it was a couple years ago, and I had a student that was one of those that even with constant encouragement, he wanted to give up. Like he just didn't have the drive in him to keep going. And I remember taking him out in the hall, and I remember looking at him in the face and saying, I know you want me to give up on you. I know you're just waiting for me to just put my hands up and say, fine, you win, I give up. But guess what? It's not gonna happen. I'm not gonna give up on you. You are the reason that I am teaching. You're the reason that I'm even here. I'm here for you. I'm not going to give up on you because I know you can do it. Get back in there and let's get to it. Did that turn him into the most perfect student? No. It's so good for them to hear that someone's not giving up on them. Even when you're pushed against the wall and they frustrate you, for them to actually hear the words from you, I know you want me to give up, but I'm not. That is so powerful. And for me to even hear myself saying that, it was again reminding me of my why. We are in a critical time in history. Who knows what this fall is going to look like, but we need teachers that care. And there's so many teachers that care out there. And I really believe that you are that teacher. Remember your why. Write down your why. Post it somewhere. Encourage your coworkers and your staff to do that. I've never really done this before, but I really feel like God wants me to pray over you in your classroom this next year. God, we just come to you today with open arms and open hands. God, you reminded me one day when I was just having a really, really hard day that you once walked this earth and you were a teacher. And I remember you telling me that I was created in your image. And I inherited your teaching. So just like you, I am a teacher. I inherited your teaching abilities. And whomever is watching this video, God, I just pray over them in their classroom. If they are overwhelmed, would you give them peace? If they are stressed out, God, would you bring them comfort? If they are just stuck and they don't know where to go or who to talk to, God, would you give them wisdom? This past October, I was at the end of my rope and I didn't know what else to do but pray. So God, I just pray right now for those teachers that are burnt out or struggling or they're excited. God, would you just be their light? Just like you said, your word is a lamp unto our feet and a light to our path. God, would you just be a lamp unto this path? Because this is not an easy path. Teaching is not easy, but it is a calling. So God, I just pray for continual wisdom, comfort, peace, and guidance. Even though we don't know what this year is going to hold, 2020, 2021, we lay it at your feet, knowing that you are the ultimate teacher and you are so good and you love these students. These are your kids first. Guide us as we go into this uncharted territory of this year of not knowing if it's going to be all online or partial or whatever. No teachers have ever had to go through that before. But God, you have prepared us for such a time as this. Help us to be a light into the darkness. Students that are struggling with things we can't even comprehend, give us the words to say and the next steps to take, God. We love you and we praise you. Help us to remember our why when things get tough. Amen. Thanks again for watching. I know this was not a normal video of mine. It's not upbeat and, funny. It's who I am and it's what I'm passionate about. I want to spark some joy for those that have lost their spark. Just know that I'm praying for you and I'm here for you. I'm going through it too. And I really feel like this is going to be a really good school year. Don't forget to hit the like button. That way this video can reach more and more teachers out there. Hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed yet, and the notification bell so you can get some alerts on some new videos coming out. Again, my name is Brittany. I'm a messy fun teacher. Life can be messy, but there's always joy to be found. Thank you so much. I appreciate all you guys. See you in the next video.